What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, the Golden State Warriors closed out the series with the LA Clippers, and Kevin Durant drops 50. So let's see what they have to say about that.
How you doing, Katie? I'm right here. How you doing? This is TBJ of Hoops and Brews. Was this the best game offensively you've ever had?
I don't know. I scored 50 points, but I missed some good shots tonight. I feel like I could have made a few more, but I felt great. You know.
That's funny. It's like, yeah, Kevin, you guys know what your stats are, especially if you're balling that night. And I like the little humble dry brag there. You know, I got 50. You know, I could have probably done more, but you know, I'm happy. I'm okay with the results. You know, I'm not trying to do too much though. You know, so it's funny. Let's keep going.
It's a fun game for sure.
Hey, Kevin Durant, Cameron Buford, LA News Observer. I got a question totally irrelevant to this series. The Seattle on the 13th of May is having a meeting to try to bring back the Sonics. Would you lend your name to any or give any support to that effort to bring the Sonics back to Seattle?
I mean, since I've been in the league, since we left, I've been screaming that team needs to go there. So, yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. We're going to reach out to you, big guy.
I'm sure somebody.
Again, it's so funny. It's like when they're losing, Kevin Durant doesn't want to talk to anybody. No press conferences. You know, you guys ask me stupid questions and all this other type of stuff. But since they just won, he just dropped 50 and 45 the day before, and they close out the series against the Clippers. All of a sudden, now you can ask me questions that have absolutely nothing to do with the game that I just played in, and have absolutely nothing to do with the Houston series coming up next. So I don't know. It's just funny how the attitude flip flops from game to game and from winning to losing. It's anything consistent. So let's keep going.
I just seen that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that too, man. It's a good question. For the city right there. I like that.
Yeah, I came to see you play up there 2008, I guess it was, before you guys left, man.
Nice.
So that'd be good to get the Sonics back to Seattle,
sure.
and I'm hold you responsible for that.
Man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know. Seattle definitely needs to get a team back there. But as far as the questions, next question, can it please be about the game I just played or upcoming games, and not about anything that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now? So let's keep going.
I'll take it.
Hey, Kevin, the point you made earlier this week of like all the work you do behind the scenes to stay at this level consistently, what do you think is key in that routine, and what is kind of the day-to-day with that?
First, it just starts with mentally preparing to, work on my skills, on a day-to-day, and it's you guys, any NBA player, it's tough to, especially when you've been in it for so long, to keep doing the same things over and over again. But, that's what brings results. So, it's just pretty simple. We just get up, get shots up, and focus on the game when I'm at home, see how I can be better throughout the game. Just always just trying to be a student, to be honest. That's just been my approach.
Kevin, Chris with Fantasy Sports Cave. Obviously, you had a good offensive game. Let's talk about the defense. Can you talk about how your defense flew around today? I know there was one possession where they doubled you, turned it over, but you sprint back and blocked Gallinari. Could you talk about the effort from all of you guys defensively today?
Damn, Pat Beverley with another 14 rebound night. That's crazy. But I think, we held them 39% shooting, which is a win for us. They out-rebounded us, but I think we just made them miss tonight. We made them miss. We made Lou Williams 3 for 21. Damn, I didn't know he was 3 for 21. That was a great job by Clay, Andre, just making him see bodies and hands. But we just try to make everyone there looks tough. I think last game they were just a little bit too free in their movements and their actions that they call, coming downhill. Not really a body on them, shooting open threes because we're leaving guys. So I think tonight we just locked in on more so individual game plan for each player.
Tomer Zarley from Clutch Points. Kevin, since you joined, the Clippers are one of the few teams to push you guys to 6 games. What can you say about them when they were predicted to get swept by most?
Well, whoever predict anything about basketball, you can't predict this game. Like, you can try to make assumptions, but anything can happen, and we expected that, especially with this group. They might not have the huge names, but they got players that can play on any team in this league. From top to bottom, from Gallinari to Pat Bev to Lou Will, who was all-world scorer, to Montrezl Harrell to Gary Temple. From the down the line, they got just solid players, and we knew we had to play our A game for us to have a chance, because they well coached. They're not going to stop playing, and they have fun playing with each other.
So one thing I can predict, Mr. Kevin Durant, is that Houston is going to give you a tougher fight than what the Clippers gave you, and they won 2 games. So I don't know if that's a precursor to anything, but one thing I can predict is James Harden, Chris Paul, and company are going to be coming at your head, for one. And for two, if you say that the Clippers gave you guys, made you guys come with your A game and gave you guys a real good look, that's not good. That's not something you want to hear in the first round. That's definitely not something I want to hear in the first round, because it's only going to get worse. And like I said, James Harden and company are sitting in Houston waiting for you and are plotting and are watching film on Patrick Beverley and how to somewhat contain you if they can. So, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Hi, Kevin. Some of your teammates did not have great series or particularly great games. When that happens on nights like tonight, do you recognize that very early on and take it upon yourself to compensate for that offensively?
I just keep on humming no matter what. I just play my game through it all. I think, I definitely don't want to go away from my teammates if they're struggling to shoot the ball. Still keep them in the game, but at the same time, be aggressive and try to win the game as well. But we trust in all our guys, and like Clay, Steph, if they're not making shots early, we still going to try to find them and get them going. I think they do that with everybody. If I'm not going to start the game, we all trying to look for each other. We play a team game. When everybody touches the basketball, we're in good shape.
Yeah, Kevin, so say that we support our teammates no matter what, and they do the same for me when I'm not playing as good as I should be and getting beat up by a guy that's a foot smaller than me. I like to keep them involved so they don't mentally fall apart and have a terrible series. Unlike what you media jackals do, you jump all over me when I have a bad game. And who's that one guy on that one show that says, "Oh God, I can't believe Kevin Durant, he's getting beat up by Patrick Beverley. He's a foot shorter than him." I'm sorry, Max Kellerman, that I said that Kevin Durant is the best player in the league. I'm sorry that I wasted my breath in saying that Kevin Durant could be the greatest basketball player of all time. I just can't believe I said that. Kevin Durant is so skinny. He's skinny too. He's just getting pushed around and beat up by Patrick Beverley. And Kevin Durant, he's like a little skinny, underdeveloped side baby that just is 7 feet tall. I just can't understand it. But here comes 2 games ago, Kevin drops 45. Kevin Durant is everything we thought he would be. He was one of the best players, if not the best player in the NBA, and he will probably go down as the best player ever. Here comes 50. Oh my God, Kevin, he does it again. Kevin Durant is just unstoppable. He's a bad man. So let's stay consistent, Mr. Media Jackals. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to rip Kevin, rip him for not having necessarily a good game, but don't tear him completely down and say he's trash, he's not one of the best players in the NBA, and he won't ever be the best player in the NBA. Because that's not true. Kevin Durant most likely is the best player in the game right now. So let's not flip-flop and go to extremes when you judge Kevin. So let's keep going.
Logan Murdoch, NBC Sports Bay Area. Kevin, you guys only have one day until your next game against the Houston Rockets. How do you recalibrate for a team that as well rested as they are and are ready for you guys?
Well, in the NBA, we pretty used to this schedule where we play a game, then day off, then another game. We pretty much do that all year. So it's pretty, it's just our routine. So hopefully we come to play.
I hope they come to play too, because like I said, we can't have a same situation with what happened with the Clippers, Kevin Durant. You need to come on out firing all cylinders. And if it was me, if I was a coach, I'd get Kevin Durant started out early, get him the ball, get him started getting points early to set and establish a tone, let alone the tone for the game. because we can't have the same thing what happened with Patrick Beverley. And the Houston or the Golden State Warriors definitely can't let the Houston Rockets get 2 games and stay in a fight for this series, because Houston Rockets have enough firepower that they can take over the series. The Clippers didn't necessarily have enough firepower to take over that series, and they didn't have enough firepower to take advantage of the things that they could have. But that's not going to be the same thing with Houston Rockets. That's not going to be the same thing at all. So I hope these boys are ready. I would get Kevin Durant started early, get the ball rolling early, because, like I said, if you make a mistake with the Houston Rockets, they will expand upon that, and it could turn into a Game 7 again, which I hope it won't. I don't think it will, because I think they're going to play against Houston more differently than what they did, have a different game plan than what they did in their last finals. And it kind of shows from when they played against the Houston Rockets, 2 or 3 weeks ago, or like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they beat them. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting to see Golden State play Houston. So let's keep going.
Kevin, right here. Eric Pingus, Basketball Insider's Bleacher Report. You sort of touched on this a moment ago, but this team has some high power scoring, obviously, some of your teammates. How do you balance that? When do you know? You talked about when to be aggressive. Is it a feel? Is it how the defense is playing you? Maybe the team needs it. How do you find that this is my game, I need to be the one to take those shots instead of Steph or Clay?
I just never know until the game starts. It's just a flow. I just can't really explain it. If the game is...
Well, Kevin Durant, I would explain it away as from this guy's asking a stupid question. I would explain it to him as I've been playing with this team for 3 years. We've won the past finals back-to-back. I'm finals MVP back-to-back. So I didn't just start playing on his team 2 weeks ago. They've been playing for a solid 3 years, won 2 championships, in which Kevin Durant won 2 MVPs. So to ask that stupid type of question, these guys know each other. They play with each other. They know each other's personalities and quirks and how to push someone else's buttons, a.k.a. Ask Draymond Green and all about that. But, that's just a stupid question. These guys have been playing with each other. That's why they can let the Clippers kind of get away with the series that they just played, because they know how to kind of like turn it on, if you will, even though they gave up 2. It shouldn't have got to that point. But they know each other well enough. They know what's going on. So, I don't know. Let's keep going.
It's just a perfect balance that we have. We've been playing with each other. We know each other. We have good chemistry. And I know when Steph's going. He knows when I'm going, and Clay, and all the way down the line. So, we sacrifice shots for each other. We sacrifice opportunities for each other. And I think, coach and everybody on the team kind of knows how the game is being played and who needs to touch it and what we need to run the offense through. I think everybody has a good feel and an IQ for the game each night.
Shelley Smith from ESPN. I know you told Doris that you were lost in the game, thinking about possession, just getting the next possession. When did you realize that things were going pretty well for you, especially in the first half?
I feel like every night goes well for me, that I'm healthy and I get to play. And I get to... just dive deep into the game. Miss and makes, they happen. But usually when I'm in it is when I'm following the defensive game plan to the T, when I'm flying around on the defensive side, and we all all on one string. I think that's usually when I'm in the game.
So if I recall correctly, I think Golden State was sealed out each quarter, and they were winning. They were winning each quarter. I can't remember the fourth. But I think Golden State, I don't think at any point that the Houston or the LA Clippers were winning. Yeah, I think each quarter that they closed out, Golden State was up by, I think, about 5 to 8 points. So they were doing pretty good from the get-go, and it wasn't really an issue of struggling for them. So I bet Kevin Durant did feel good about the situation. So let's keep going.
Farboat Clips Nation. So Coach Kerr mentioned that the Clippers brought the best out of this Warriors team. Can you mention what they brought out of you?
Well, the physical defense was one of those things. They got multiple guys that don't give up on plays. Especially with the movement that we have and the shooters, the guys that run around the 3-point line. They didn't really give up too many easy shots, and it starts there. with them. You know, I've seen them all season. You know, they play everybody tough. They get into everybody. They pick up full court. They into your hip on pin downs. They, you know, going over the game plan. They adjusting throughout the game. I think they're just well coached. They play extremely hard, and you know, they put together a good group of guys that can, you know, do multiple things. Lou coming off the bench never really complained about minutes or anything. He just know he's going to play and play his game. So he's the guy that's kind of the head of the snake, and Montrezl Harrell as well. So, you know, those two guys had phenomenal seasons, and, you know, definitely became more. I was always a huge Lou Williams fan, but even more of a Lou Williams fan after this series, and Montrezl Harrell and the whole team. But those two guys really stood out to me.
So no mention of Patrick Beverley and the lockdown performances he had against you. What was it, game 1 and 2, I think, or 2 and 3? I can't remember. And I don't know I don't know what to think about if the LA Clippers brought the A game out of the Golden State Warriors. That's not something you quite want to hear in the first round. And I think I've probably said that before, but that's not something you really want to be seeing in the first round. And you're supposed to be the team that's going to win it all. If the Clippers are bringing out your A game, what do you think Houston's going to do? Now, I hate to keep harping on that, but I just don't want it to get to the point where Houston even remotely thinks they have a chance. I think Golden State's going to take it, but I just don't want them to go in there lackadaisical and think they can just let these guys hang around, because the Clippers didn't take advantage of the 2 games that they had. But I guarantee you, if you let Houston Rockets have 2 games, have it go 3-2, that's too close. That's too close for comfort to let James Harden and company stay in the series like that. So let's keep going.
Kevin, you know in James Harden's games over the years, what does it take as a team to minimize the fouls and getting to the free throw line, and what things does he do to make that difficult?
I think even more important than the free throws, just that's not his whole game. You know, he can do everything. You know, he can. If you're not focused, he can drive past you, hit you with the shoulder because he's strong, finish either hand. He's shooting floaters now.
So, yes, you are correct about that, Kevin Durant. But one thing one way to possibly slow down Harden is let him shoot that 3. Let's see where his confidence level is at, because he's doing it during the regular season. We know he can do it. He's had MVP type years during the regular season, but he seems to always choke during the playoffs. So that's where I would let him. Like, you know what? You go ahead. Let's see if you can start getting that 3 going. That's where I would really try and challenge James Harden and probably shut down what's going on in the paint, but let him get the ball rolling and start missing those 3s and have it start messing with his confidence and having him start thinking, oh God, not again. Here we go, happening again. Because I think, what was it, game 2 or 3 of the Houston series? Harden had I think a bad game or 2 where he missed like 10 threes in a row. And people were like, oh God, here we go. Here goes James Harden in the playoffs, missing those 3s again. So, I don't know. I think that's just one strategy I would probably use starting out against James Harden in the first game or 2. So, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Obviously, the step-back three-pointer is one of his staples, but I never really believed he was just a free throw guy. You know, he can score in a variety of ways. So we have to be locked in from the beginning. You can't fully stop a guy like that. You just got to be ready to play him tough all game.
Last one, center aisle.
Hey, KD, Josh with SB Nation. When you're going into the playoffs, would you prefer playing a series where, you know, it's a 4-0 sweep, a little bit easier for you, or would you rather have a series like this where you were tested and you guys were battling?
I mean, obviously, we would love to win 4-0 every series. That would be ideal, but we know this.
Yeah, that's another stupid question. Obviously, you want to go and sweep a team and get them out of the way instead of let them linger around and have them get more confident and have you lose confidence. So I think, what was it, the last team that pretty much ran a table in the playoffs? I think it was like the Lakers, like 0-2 or 0-3 or something like that, where they ran a table each round, swept each round, and I think they lost one game, I think, to the Philadelphia 76ers with, I think it was Allen Iverson, if I remember correctly, but I think it was Philadelphia that the Lakers gave up one game, but other than that, they swept them all. So I was kind of hoping that maybe Golden State throughout their dynasty that they'd be able to do that, but I know that's very hard to do. But whatever, just get the win, win the series and get out of there. So I don't know. So I was just having fun with this video, talking a little bit trash, just having fun. So I don't know. Let's keep going.
Playoffs is not really going to happen that way. But I think just everybody in this locker